I almost ended the stream. That would have been a quick 5 minute stream where it just went on, put on a 5 minute countdown timer, and then I just got out. Just I'm done. That was great. Thanks everyone. Bye. Hi everybody. How's everyone doing? I have no plans for what I'm doing here. Also, how do I sound? I'm using the built-in microphone here instead of the one I usually use because I just didn't want anything here right now. It was just a more personal choice. I wanted it to be loosey goosey and open. Cool. Fine is what I go for on here. I don't want exquisite. I don't need it to be like groundbreaking or earth shattering. Fine is absolutely good enough. Who we got? We got Jonah. How's it going? Got Paul. We have me. Most importantly, we have me. Land Speeder Luke says howdy. Howdy. Plugman, how you doing, buddy? I collect. How's it going, man? And then Wilbon says I like you too, Wilbon. And then there's also Pletho. Oh man, lots of you. Hi there. How's it going, Joby One? Um, Someone that see a lot on the Facebook groups, interact with. Cool person. We seem to have a lot of similar opinions. Uh Again, I had nothing. I guess one of the things I really want to know, Darth Muzza, how's it going? Hi there. One of the things I really want right now, from everyone here is feedback. Um, I guess I've done a lot of videos in the last couple weeks, last month, I would say. I've done something like eight videos, maybe. Nigel, how's it going? How you doing? Jedi Master Joshua. And Jenna, you are absolutely welcome. Like I said, I don't know what it was. I think I've said this before, but I don't know if I said it on my channel. I don't know what it was about cleaning my toy room that I was like, you know what? I'm in a good spot right now. I could definitely make some videos, and that's what it was. It was just something that clicked. I went from being like, I don't really want to make videos to like, I can make a bunch of videos. Hold on, I'm gonna get some more light in here, and I'm going to raise my chair a little bit there. As you can see, I'm wearing merch. I'm wearing merch. T-shirt available. If anyone, I don't have any mic case merch. I've thought about it. But do you wanna get up? Hey, kitten, Cassie. You want to get? You're acting like you want to jump up. You could jump up in my lap. It's okay. Come on. Anyway, um, what was I saying? I'm wearing merch. That's what I'm saying. Hi. Yes, come on. Come on. So weird. I Yeah, it's true. It just something about just decluttering my room, and I've kept it that way, which is important to me. Like it's still decluttered. Like I haven't when I get something new, I put it up. I haven't been just putting things on the ground and leaving them there. I mean, I can't promise I'll still do that, but it's easier to maintain when you keep it looking good versus when you start to let it go, it gets harder and more of a mental chore. And it's not done. There's definitely things I want to mess around with. Like if you saw in my toy room tour, there's a couple shelves over here. Um, I definitely want to redo the shelf behind me. Some of the shelves I'm not super happy with. I think I want to mess around with these two shelves right here where I have like the 3D printed stuff. But I mean, that's just fun stuff, not necessarily like in the way stuff, but mostly it's the clean floor that made such a big difference. And it's so interesting how mentally doing something like that can just make you want to get into a hobby that you were neglecting because it seemed like so much work. I mean, when I do a video, when I do a video, even if it's like a quick video, like with this one, I just, this is my last video review I did. I had to pull off two clones off my shelf and a battle droid, which wasn't much. But that clutters it up. And then if I don't put them back, my next review, which is probably going to be the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack, with the second sister, the Cal Kestis, the Inquisitor Cal, and the Perch Trooper. Like for that, I'm gonna have to pull out my original second sister, who's just on the shelf, but I might also pull out the the carbonized one just so you can see the difference. I'm gonna have to pull out the my original as Cal Kestis, and then both of my other Perch Troopers. Maybe even the Obi-Wan Kenobi one, but probably not. I'll probably just keep it to the video game versions. But like that's, 6 or 7 figures now, counting the original three, they're just hanging out. And if I don't put them up, now everything starts to become cluttered. The shelves become in more disarray. And then when it's time to do the next video, like it's harder to do. Like, do I pull more figures off the shelf? Do I put some up? Do I have to clean to do something new? And that just feels like work. So it's just something that you have to like just stick with. Otherwise, it can build up real fast, and it's all mental. It's all it is. It's all mental. What's up, David Smith? How's it going? Miss Clown One, I'm glad you like my shirt. I also like my shirt. But yeah, you can. There, we have a somewhere is a link to our store. I also have like we have pint glasses, we have coffee mugs. I have a hoodie that I love. It's great. Risk Llama, you are the greatest. I'll just say that. I don't even know why, but sure. I'm not going to argue with it. But yeah, what's kind of funny is my wife and I are most likely going to move within the next year. So it's like I've lived here for 3 years. I've just now gotten the toy room to a point where I'm feeling good about it, and then within a year I'm gonna have to pack. Well, less than a year, I'm gonna have to pack it up and move. But I'm wherever we go, I'm gonna be more up on like getting things done properly, so I can get back into it faster. That's gonna be my number one goal. Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of people who I don't want to ever say anyone's bad at something because everyone has different skill levels or just whatever. It's fine. I'm never going to like be like, oh man, you suck at posing. Although I'll be honest, there have been times where I've been scrolling through and thought, oh man, that person's not very good at posing things. And there are better people than me at posing. Pletho, on our VIP, on our Patreon, we do VIP, and Pletho is a VIP person. He is a phenomenal poser. He's so good at posing action figures, like just the lines, the poses, just mwah, he's like an artist. Um, I would say I'm decent at it. Like I'm pretty good. I can get what I want across for the most part. Um, but there's some people that just are so good at it. But it's a skill that you can practice at, and a lot of it just comes down to like learning how people stand. Like where do you put your legs? What weight do you have on which leg when you're doing something? How do you have your arms and hands when your feet are a certain way? Just to kind of make it all look natural. Like do you tilt the head a little bit? Is it straight on? Are your shoulders even? All those little things can make or break a pose. And I feel like that definitely there are definitely some people that could learn a little bit about what that's like. And so I figured I'd do a little something on a video just to kind of show people how I go through my process. Am I getting City? Absolutely, I'm getting Sidious. Absolutely, I'm getting Sidious. I'm very excited for Sidious. From the pictures, is he perfect? I don't know. It's really tough to tell. The headpiece, like being all one piece, it looks like that where the head doesn't move underneath. I don't know. Under robes obviously missing, but like, how much leeway do you give it being a 6-inch toy versus like a hot toy? Like, do you give it more leeway than that? So it's hard to reserve judgment until I get the figure in hand, but I'm going to do my best to do that. Man, I here's the thing. I collect does a lot of fun videos. If anyone just wants to watch someone open up like cards, Dragon Ball Z, baseball, all of that, Pokemon, like he just opens up cards, and I find that just super relaxing. And don't take this the wrong way, bro. But like sometimes I'll put on a video to go to sleep to, just because like it's methodical, your voice is soothing, like it's just nice and it's cozy. And it sometimes just makes me want to go to sleep, not because it's boring, but because it's like the perfect thing to go to sleep to. And I really like it, but I also I'll have it on. Like I have a TV up here, and I'll be working here and I'll put on, because his videos are like 45 minutes, hour long, because he's opened up cards and stuff. So I'll put them on and I'll just kind of be watching while I'm doing stuff. So definitely. Mando Love 704. How's it going? There's Pletho. Um, yeah, I mean, Pletho, if you ever do posing videos, I think you could definitely show people. I could learn a lot from you personally, if you ever wanted to do something like that, for sure. Yeah, so shooting the galaxies, he's one person I want on the podcast so badly. Um, and the thing is, like, I wouldn't even want to talk to him about like Black Series stuff specifically. I'd want to talk to him about figure posing. I'd want to talk to him about figure photography. Because, like, when there's red tape involved when you get into like talking about Black Series, because he's seen stuff. He's obviously taken pictures of things he can't talk about, whether it's Black Series or GI Joe or whatever. Like he's really good at his job, but I'd want to talk to him more on that aspect rather than like, hey, tell us about what it's like working for Hasbro. Because like when we invited him on, he's like, well, you have to talk to Hasbro stuff. I'm like, I don't want you on as a Hasbro employee. I want you on as an action figure collector slash like poser, whatever. So it's weird, but it's fine. Um, Look at that. See, Wilbon used to watch those videos when he was going to bed. You get tucked in. You get tucked in by the dulcet tones of I Collect. I think someone asked me earlier if I had Kiadi Mundi on pre-order, and I don't, because I usually don't order things from Big Bad Toy Store or Entertainment Earth. Um, they're just not stores I like, because they don't have free shipping. So Amazon, no problem. Hasbro Pulse, since I'm a premium member, I'll do that. As soon as it pops up on something like that, I'll drop down and pre-order. But if that means I don't get it as fast as some other people, that's fine. I'm not in a race. I used to be that way, where like I wanted to get things as soon as possible, so I could review them and get them up, because it's a fact. The faster you have a review up, like the more views you get, and like the more popular you are, you show up in people's feeds. But there's just no way I'm ever going to beat people like Skywalker Hendrix or Landspeeder Luke, who do fine videos, who do great videos. Like I don't want to be. I decided that chasing that first feeling, chasing that first place, is too tiring. I don't want to be the first to do a video. I want my videos to be unique. I want them to be informative. I want them to be entertaining. I don't care if they're first. That's kind of how I see that. Um, Tempted to get two Sidious so I could dual wield and fight Maul. Hopefully, Savage in the future. Honestly, absolutely, for sure. And like that Sidious can easily kind of double for a Clone Wars Sidious, although technically he didn't have the scarred face at that point. Um, Again, it'd be cool if he had alternate heads, but it's fine. Because it like what stops that Sidious from being like a Phantom Menace Sidious or was he? Yeah, he was dressed as Sidious in Attack of the Clones. Like I want a like a pre-scarred Sith robe Sidious as well. I want all the Sidiouses. This is Sidiousi, Sidiosodes. What's whatever the uh whatever the plural of Sidious is. Clone Command, what's up? Oh, Jim Mason is also here. How's it going, bud? Yeah, I mean, there's that's honestly a good idea too. Just some fun facts. We're whenever the TVC officially gets revealed or announced, obviously Black Series Cantina, we're not going to care too much about the TVC HasLab, but I do want to talk about it because it is about Star Wars collecting, and ultimately it can affect Black Series. But we're probably, and this is a little spoilery, we're probably going to have. Oh no, we're definitely going to have Jake Forlam from Forlam to Zuckus back on for that. I'm definitely going to have Dan Larson back on the podcast soon. We've been talking about that. I don't know if you know who Chris Perillo is, but we've been talking about getting him on. I joined his Twitch live stream the other night. We were talking on it. He does a lot of 3D printing and he collects, Black Series, TVC and stuff. But he also like he used to do. My dad and I would watch him on Tech TV because he would do a TV show called Call for Help. Like he's on TV. So it's weird. It's wild to me that this person who I used to watch on TV is like friends with me online and we've talked. So that's neat. Another thing that I've seen people get today early, I don't know if early, but the boys from Out of the Basement got their droidicas today, and I'm over here seething with jealousy. You could put me between two pieces of bread and peanut butter because I am jelly. I want one of. I've ordered two. I want them so bad, so we'll see. Um, Yeah, for real, first review chase it is. It's really not fun. And I did it for a while. I got caught up in that. I had one of the first reviews for the child. I had I think the first review for the Hot Rebel Soldier back in like 2020. Like I was getting there. Like I was early. I was getting things in and getting them up as fast as I could, and it was fun. There's a certain high that you get from doing that. So I understand. But it's also one of those things that I recognize that if I took too seriously, it would burn me out as a collector. It would burn me out as all that stuff. So I just decided that I didn't want to be part of that anymore. That I was just going to review things when I felt like it. I mean, obviously within I tried to do it within a timely manner, but then things started getting backed up, and it was a whole thing. Scott Weiland, how's it going? Oh, thanks, Ruslan. That's nice of you. I'm glad you watch. Clone Command ordered four Kiadi Mundis from different places. Um, Yeah, I think we could probably work something out. Yeah, I think we can easily work something out. I'll message you. Yes, Pletho. Senator Palpatine, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, so that would have been I don't want to get too greedy because I will say compared to other releases we've had in the Black Series, Sidious already comes with his lightsaber and alternate hands, and to be honest with you, I did not expect that. And the soft goods look good. So I didn't expect any of that. So I don't want to start getting greedy and be like, yeah, we should also get heads. Like I think that, sure, but I'm just gonna be happy with what we get. And then if they ever make another one with the different head, I'll just buy it. Because to be honest, if they made one and had alternate heads on it, I'd probably buy two anyway, just so I could display it both ways. So what's the difference between them making two figures that one's one and one's the other, and me buying two of the same figure to display it two different ways? The end result is the same. I've bought the figure twice. So it doesn't super matter. Chancellor Palpatine figure would be nice. Yep, yep, yep. It's so hard. Whenever I see a trooper, I find it hard not to buy. Honestly, I'm kind of the same. There's so many times. I mean, I get most of my toys from online now. Just the physical store hunt for me is mostly over. I cannot remember the last time I found a brand new Black Series figure in store that I didn't already own. But that being said, there have been times where, like, oh, the first time I see it in store physically, I'm tempted to be like, I kind of want to buy this. Like, I own it. It's on my shelf. It's at home. But I'm seeing it in person for the first time in a store, and I kind of want to buy it. And it's weird. But troopers are even harder because I have a reason to buy more than one of those. So for sure, absolutely. Dankches, yeah, two Droidicas are from BBTS are on the way. Yeah, BBTS got those Droidicas in soups early, so congrats to the people. They won the race, and that's the other thing is like, how do you choose? Like sometimes you can get them in early if you know. Like sometimes Toy Snowman will get stuff in early for me, and I'll get it early from him again. If you ever want to buy stuff from Toy Snowman, you don't have to be Canadian. He ships to America, and generally he's pretty great. Um, sometimes I've gotten stuff super early from that. Sometimes I've gotten stuff super early from Amazon. Sometimes I've gotten stuff super early from Entertainment Earth or Big Bad Toy Store. It's come in and I've ordered it and gotten it early. It's really weird because you can never tell who's going to get what in when. So there was a point, like especially on 2021, where I was pre-ordering the same thing from like five different websites. And that got weird because I definitely accidentally ordered the same thing a couple times and I didn't cancel it. And then now I've got a box of figures in my closet right here. And some of them legitimately are, oops, I forgot to cancel this pre-order from this website that I ordered from when I was just throwing down pre-orders. And like they don't do returns. Like you can't return something generally to them, or you have to pay shipping. So like, what's the point? Now I just have an extra one. So I've kept them from like for like fodder, not fodder, but like for trading or giveaways and things like that. Um, but yeah, I stopped doing that because of those issues where I was spending way more money than I should have. Um, because of that. Philip, how's it going? I am back at it again. Thank you. Uh, let's see. I bought some weird Star Wars prequel Transformer today from a thrift store. I mean, those back when I was doing, but not that I'm done. I'm not saying this to say I'm done, but I haven't done an episode of Bots and Shots in a while on my channel. But my co-host Zach, different Zach from Black Series Cantina, tall blonde Zach. He and I had a serious talk about doing an all Star Wars Transformer episode for like May the 4th or something. We just never got around to it because we don't own any. And that's the problem is like we don't own any. So we'd have to buy them from like eBay or Craigslist or whatever, however complete or non-complete they are. And we're specifically buying them for this YouTube show. And then afterwards, like, well, now we own them. What do we have to like sell them again, put them in a bin? Like I'd be buying things just to do a video. So it never seemed plausible or feasible to do because like neither of us really wanted to own the Star Wars Transformers line, the crossover line, because it's not good. Like they're not good Transformers and they're not good Star Wars figures. It's like two things I personally love. Like I've got Transformers here, I've got Star Wars here, but when you mix them together, you just get awfulness. Yeah. Hasbro pulses not always last, but they are often last. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Target pegwarming the Vizsla Clone 2 pack. I mean, I guess it depends on your area. I have within driving distance. I've got one, two, three, four, five, six, maybe targets I can hit up within a reasonable amount of time, like a couple hours of driving around. Um, and I think in two of them there was a shelf of those two packs. And I've never seen Vizsla in any of them. I have seen Darth Vader and the pools of Mandalorian pegwarming, but you have to remember that these are shipped in solid cases. So like if they had just gotten a case, like they're gonna have like eight on the shelf because that's how many come in a case, like six to eight or whatever, depending on what it is. So it looks like it's pegwarming. Now if it's there for like a month and not moving and no one's buying anything, then it's pegwarming. But I mean, they're shipped solidly, so it's always weird when you go there see a fresh case and this is the same figure all the way back. You're like, what? Is nobody buying these? And the answer is kind of, I guess. Oh, look at that! I guess it's Mother's Day in Australia already. Happy Mother's Day to Aussie moms, and happy Mother's Day to anybody out there watching. I'm going to call my mom tomorrow. She lives in Florida. I live in California, so we're pretty far away. But got her gifts, and then also her birthday. Her birthday is on Tuesday. Her birthday and Mother's Day are all often either the same day or very close to each other. Um, so I got her. You have to get her You can't get her combined presents. She's not okay with that. So yeah, I had to get her stuff for each. But then on tomorrow, we're going to go with my wife's mom. We're going to go to a very special hamburger place because she loves hamburgers, and right across the street is a very swanky ice cream place that has like fancy flavors and whatnot. So we're going to make it a whole thing. That's our plans. Yeah, it happens so easily. You accidentally end up with like four of the same things, so it's not fun. What's up, Adam? How's it going? Right there, right there. Peg warming is when any figure is visible in a shop now. True, very true. Um, Paragon Fuzz is one of my favorite people in the world. I just want everyone to know that. And just because I didn't say your name wasn't one of my favorite people in the world doesn't mean I don't think that. But specifically, Paragon Fuzz cracks. Again, the guy cracks me up. Um, let's see. I want to pre-order Rex and Emperor on Throne, but neither are on Amazon Canada. That's weird. That is weird that Amazon Canada doesn't have the Emperor on Throne up yet. But I hope that changes soon. Obviously. What's up, Object of Scorn? Your birthday's tomorrow. Happy birthday, buddy. That's one of the problems with being born in May, I guess. And that's what. So what's 9 months before May? That's five. What is it, like? It's like October, September. Like I'm trying to decide because usually it's like holidays. There's a lot of September people because like you go back to the first. There's a lot of stuff happening on the first in January, so it makes sense for like a lot of September birthdays. So it's always interesting to see like when people like a lot of December birthdays 9 months before that. It's like it's interesting to go back and see that stuff. No, actually, kind of hamburger flavored ice cream. So the hamburger place we're going to, they cook all of their stuff in beef tallow, so like beef fat, basically. So the fries are cooked in beef fat, but they also have ice cream made from beef tallow, or made with beef tallow. So they kind of do have hamburger ice cream, but we're not getting ice cream from that place. Across the street is like a little ice cream shop, and they have crazy flavors. Like one had corn in it, and it's not salt and straw. That's a bigger one that has weird flavors. There's a smaller one with weird flavors, but like there's a lot of like lavender and like there's stuff that you don't normally associate with like ice cream. You get a lot of that. Yeah, I'm really glad that the A-list Vader and that Pools of Mandalore Mando are selling well. I was worried about that, like how many people still need a Darth Vader? Like this is the like fifth time that Vader has been re-released, and I know there are people that'll buy it just because it's a new box and they're like inbox collectors and they want that mural. I get it, but like me, I did not need another version of that Vader. I felt weird enough buying the Obi-Wan Kenobi Vader, which is just that Vader with his robe tucked under his armor. And it's the same figure other than that, you know. So I was a little worried that was going to backfire, but I'm glad that that's selling. And here's the other thing. That's true. I do get paid by Paragon Fuzz to say nice things about him. But the other thing uh that I was gonna say that I totally forgot. I totally forgot because Paragon Fuzz distracted me. What was I talking about? A-list. I'm afraid they weren't. Oh, I do remember now. They've 100% been making fewer figures. Uh, back in like 2020, 2021, there was that boom of people staying at home. A lot of people got into collecting that were into collecting more. And Black Series like figure collecting in general got very popular, and there are a lot of people that joined the hobby because of that time, like Lance Peter Luke, for instance, didn't really collect Black Series figures until then. We talked about that on the podcast, um, and because of that, Hasbro and other companies reacted by producing more because the demand was higher. The problem is it takes time for that production to reach us. And by the time that production reached us, that bubble had already started to like falter. And now the demand isn't there anymore, but their supply caught up to what the demand was like a year ago. Because that's how long it takes for them to do this stuff. And that's why so much stuff was hitting ollies or just sitting on shelves and not selling because they were getting so much stuff, or going like straight to clearance because they were getting so much stuff. And now that that happened, they've pulled a lot of that stuff back, where they're not making as many things again. And I think a lot of this stuff will correct itself. But there was definitely like a weird blip because of a lot of stuff. And on top of that, there were like supply chain issues. So even when they were getting stuff out, they couldn't get it to stores or to people because the supply chain was all gummed up. It was a whole thing. Oh, your mom's birthday is in September. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hey, you got the Jedi Sith Lord 23, by the way. Hi, how's it going? You got the lights? I love these lights. Zach, Black Series Cantina Zach, turned me on with these lights. And they're real good. I like them a lot. The charge lasts about 8 hours, maybe even longer than that, because I don't have them on the brightest setting. Um, I really like it for sure. Let's see, going down. Favorite TBS of 2024 so far? So for me, I got my Glavis Ring World Mando in 2023, and I put it on my 2023 list. So I wouldn't count that for 2024. I would say right now, easily my favorite Black Series figure is the uh, Super Battle Droid. I really, really think that he's going to be up there. He's just a fun figure to mess around with. He's so solid. He has a lot of great weight and balance to him. He's got good just girth and height. He's a lot of fun to play around with. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, the ESB version. I mean, if you only want one version of Darth Vader, the ESB version is the best, and I hope that at some point they re-release that one as well. But I feel like I get what they're going with. Like Darth Vader is one of those characters like everyone should have on their shelves. Uh, so you shouldn't really like release them once and then never again. You want to keep releasing Vaders so that people can buy Vaders, and you don't want like specific ones. Like I love my final dual Darth Vader, but I don't want that to be the only Vader I have on my shelf because it's such a specific Vader to have on your shelf. If that's like the look for that shelf on your character, or that look for that character on your shelf. Um, yeah, so like I get where they're coming from, where they want to keep it sort of evergreen. And the original Star Wars vintage line did that too, like Chewbacca, Vader. They never made different versions of those characters. Like the Chewbacca in 1978 or whatever was the same as the Chewbacca in 1985 for the most part. Like they didn't have like a Hoth Chewbacca or like a prisoner Chewbacca or whatever. They just had the Chewbacca. Same with Vader. They didn't have like removable helmet Darth Vader or like Empire Strikes Back version Darth Vader. They just have Darth Vader, and he's the same from '78 all the way up to like '85. And they kept releasing him. Like it wasn't like he was just available that one time, and if you didn't get him, you were screwed. They kept releasing him. Uh, yes. First of all, Wilbon, yes, you're welcome for the Wilboners thing. I did create that. It's free of charge. But yes, there was a huge bubble for a lot of recreational um, hobby things had a bubble around the 2020, 2021, even 2022, where like people were getting into stuff because they had time, they had space or whatever, and now they stopped having that, so they kind of got back out of it, and a lot of bubbles burst. So yeah, pandemic collectors, absolutely. Super Battle Droid versus Glavis Mando. Oh, I mean, I think we saw in the show that Mando wins. The Super Battle Droid ran away, right? Yeah, that's tough. That's tough. My least favorite for the year so far, and this is I'm just counting things I've bought. Probably either the Mace Windu or the 187th Clone Trooper. I'm gonna go with the 187th Clone Trooper. I don't think it's bad, but I wish so much that it were on the newer body. It just kills me that it's not on the new body. With more TBS multi-packs coming from Hasbro, do you think we'll get D Squad? I mean, I hope so. I mean, I honestly don't know, but I wouldn't be mad if we did, to be honest. And by D Squad, I'm assuming you mean Domino Squad, like their original iteration, like from the training and stuff, or even just their normal clone looks. Like I would love that. This is gonna be a bit controversial, but we're like Balin. Yeah, it just sucks that you have to fix a figure. But you're right. Once you get him fixed, he looks great. The concept art Vader is. I don't want to say he's my favorite, but he might be my favorite. I just really like that look. I like the helmet shape. I like the more kind of Ralph McQuarrie look to the helmet. Always have been. So happy with the inner child. So happy with SBD and 3PO set. Yeah, I agree. It's fun. And I'm definitely getting two of the regular Super Battle Droids, and then I'm very much looking forward to the 3-pack Super Battle Droid with the gun arm. So I'm gonna have all those. Just you wait. You're gonna love it. I promise you that you're gonna love it. For TBS though, ESB Chewie is the best. Oh, I agree, 100%. The Empire Strikes Back Chewie is fantastic. The head sculpt, all of that, really, really, really good. About the normal Kenobi, when I realized it's a slightly different look to the others and have no choice, gotta have them. I 1000% understand that. There are times where I think I'm going to pass on a figure, and then I find out something stupid about it, and I go, well, now I have to own it. Case in point, that stupid the Emperor Palpatine that just got. At first, I was very excited for people. Finally, you have a chance to get this Emperor Palpatine. I still have mine. Mine's right here. It's hanging out right here in my little Empire. Actually, it's right here. And I have Imperial guards, kind of, with their little guys cross section, so you can't get past them. Um, but when I saw that post from Yak Face to show the different paint on it, I put a pre-order down, and I hate it. I really do. I was also planning on passing on the Jedi Fallen Order 3-pack until I saw the differences there. I thought that the Cal Kestis was just a third brother, a fifth brother with a Cal Kestis head, but he's not. Like, there's differences there. Like, there's enough for me to justify buying it. Yes, you're right. Star Wars did have its own bubble separate from the pandemic post Force Awakens. Absolutely. Has there ever been a Zam Wessel figure? Not in the Black Series, and I would love it when they do. And I definitely think Zam Wessel is going to be a figure that they could do. Did you purchase too many R460? Sadly, I did. I only purchased the one. I'm so sorry, and I haven't seen it in stores yet. But to my knowledge, they haven't hit physical stores yet. So I don't think you'll be missing out for long. I think they had it on sale, on order on their website. They shipped those. I think there's going to be something. Probably they're going to have a collector thing or some kind of Star Wars thing coming up, and they're probably going to get a shipper, and they're going to have them on the shipper. That's usually how this stuff works out. Uh, so I don't think you have to worry or wait too long to get it. This is a good question. What's everyone's dream multi pack? Like Dream, I have a lot of ideas for multi packs, but Dream multi pack, man, that's really tough. That's that's really. Oh, the Droid D Squad. Oh yes, I'm sorry, the Droid D Squad from the Clone Wars cartoon. I that's not a popular episode, but I love it. I would love it. It's so stupid. I want the little frog guy. I want the pit droid guy. I want it all. I love those episodes, and I understand that that's not a popular opinion. I get it, and I won't judge you for judging me. I genuinely understand it, but I love those episodes. I'm going to come back to you on this multi pack. I'm going to come back to you on it because that's a good question. Man, what's a good dream multi-pack? What's up, Ionicus? How's it going? I wasn't ignoring you. I just didn't see you yet. A dream multi-pack. That's so. I think for me, a dream multi-pack would be like of 2 to 4 figures of figures that wouldn't necessarily sell well separately. Like seeing them together in a group, you go, "Oh, I want those." Where if you just see like one of them on a shelf, you're like, "I don't need that." But then like when you see the group, you're like, "No, I do want that." So like Domino Squad, not Delta Squad would have been a good like if they did a 4 pack of Delta Squad, that would have been a good one. But I think maybe like oh, easy. The job is skiff guards. Easy. I think that's it. I don't know the real names, but the Barada, Klaatu, Nikto. Um, a 3 pack of that, done. Easy peasy. Even if they want to do a HasLab where you get those 3 figures and then the skiff, I got like a 6-inch scaled skiff. I think that would have been a really good idea, honestly. Like, $150, $200, you get a skiff and 3 figures. I think that would be a lot of fun. Let's see. Where did I leave off on? Which droid will be droid of the year, SPD or Droidica? I don't have Droidica in hand, so I can't say, but I'm expecting good things from it. And I am going to do whenever I get the Droidica. I used to do an older style review where I talked at the camera and put pictures up and got a lot more in depth because I'd script it out versus just talking off the top of my head like my more recent videos have done, have been, whatever. Um, Droidica is going to be scripted and going to be more like my older style videos. I decided that I don't want to do that a lot, but for special figures like the Droidica, we've been waiting for so long for that figure. Um, that I'm definitely going to do that with the Droidica. Isn't there a bunch of re-releasing Black Series coming? Yes. Well, so it's so weird. Um, we don't know. I mean, we do know, but we don't know. So Nerdzoic could be right, but also wrong in the sense that when he had originally announced the reruns that he called them, he said they were going to be in original boxes for original prices. And so far, that kind of has been right for like the helmets that he had on that list, but so far we haven't seen any figures get re-released that way to my knowledge. Like for instance, the Emperor Palpatine was on his list, but it's not in the original box. It's in a new box, and it's $5 more than it originally was. So yes, he was right that it was getting released, but no, he was wrong that it was just a straight repack of or like re-release of that original or rerun of that original figure. Well, the figure is the same, the paint's different, the box is different, so there are differences. It seems like Rex is getting re-released, but the the big bad toy store wording to me makes it sound like they're putting him in a new box because it said Rex the Clone Wars. It seemed like they moved existing pre-orders from that old one to a new one that's the same character. Whether it's the same figure or not, obviously we don't know because it hasn't been. But it sounds to me like it's going to be in a new packaging. So I don't know if it could be one of those things where he was right that we're getting those figures again, but he was wrong that they're the same figures in the same packages for the same prices. So again, we until we know, we don't know, but we'll see. It does seem like there was some merit to it, which I always believed. I don't think that Nerdzoic would ever just purposely go on the internet and tell lies. People don't do that. People don't go on the internet and just tell lies. A Jabba's Dancer multi-pack would 100% be one. I would also love, a Max Rebo band. Just the three main with their instruments. I would pay money for that. Especially if it had like the big organ and stuff. That's awesome. I'll check that out later tonight probably. Super stoked to catch the live stream. This work week has been a nightmare. Collection is looking amazing. Thank you so much. I'm happy to be able to distract you from a nightmare week. This is all about just having fun. Anakin versus Obi-Wan from Return of the Sith, period. I mean, that would be a good multi-pack for sure. Kyle Katarn, I know you want a Kyle Katarn. You know I want a Kyle Katarn. 100% would love a Kyle Katarn with anyone. Jan Ors, um, definitely. A Jedi or Sith 4-pack, Linda, absolutely. That would be great. Um, I know those, dude, those droid episodes, the D Squad, nobody likes those. I love them. But, like, I kind of get it. Like, the episode where they're wandering around in a void is pretty boring, but it's interesting. Like, their dialogue is interesting. And you meet Gregor in there, the ending with the big explosion, like, all of that's great. I love all of those. Favorite multi-pack would be a Rancor with other things included. Touche. Touche. Probably a 41st Elite multi-pack. Landspeeder says new Django and Zam. That would be good. That would be good. Chaz the Guru, how's it going, bud? I'm catching up, guys. I'm sorry, I'm behind. Yeah, 4-pack of clones would be any 4-pack, any multi-pack of clones would be welcome for sure. Any Galactic Marines would be good for sure. To elaborate, my Anakin and Obi multi-pack, you'd want them battle damage. Yeah, something different from just like a standard release. I get that, and maybe on like a little lava thing, like that would be cool. That would be cool. Multi-pack, I want a re-released updated Chewie with break apart C-3PO and proper back metal and R2-D2 and back metal to make three. I mean, I think that would be neat. I understand. I mean, they could do it, but I know that the plastic you have to use for back metal is it can be very brittle and hard to work with. But like, I think if they did it as a very special case, like a convention exclusive or something you have to like I think that's not out of the realm, and I think it's a good idea for sure. I would want it. Cantina Alien Pack for sure. Jabba's Palace Pack. All of those for sure. Episode three, Anakin, Obi Wan, Grievous 3 pack would be pretty neat. Although those three, I guess those three did interact at the beginning of the movie, didn't they? So yeah, that would be pretty cool. I wouldn't mind that. Mig's crew from Mando, that's not a bad idea for sure. Like, I mean, I would love. I never remember his name, but is it Lurg, whatever the Deveronian guy played by Clancy Brown. Like, I've always wanted him for sure. And when we got Migs, but like the crew would go with it for sure. Hey, I don't know if you're still here, but Darth Muzza, I'll see you later. Thanks for hanging out. I'm just gonna skip down a little bit here. Going forward to Droidica a bit more than SPD. Yeah, I think I am too. The Droidica review recorded with the ventilation shaft. They got it, the ventilation shaft. That stupid line, man. I don't know what George was thinking. Like, no, okay, I want you to say they've gone up the ventilation shaft in a more flat monotone. And he's like, more, no, flatter, more monotone. That's not enough. We need to put a vocoder over it. It's not flat enough. It's not monotone enough. It's not robotic enough. Like, I just imagine like him just getting obsessed. And then you get that just get the ventilation shaft. Like, it's just that's perfect. Perfect. It's exactly what I want. Like, what a weird line. That's I mean, it happens, man. There's a lot of stuff out there to collect. I'm not giving up on Transformers, but I definitely feel like I'm winding down on Transformers. Like, the direction that Hasbro's going with Transformers isn't one that I care about. Like towards like the Cybertron stuff and Energon and Armada. Like, I know there's tons of people out there that love the Unicron trilogy. I never cared about it. But so I'm not mad about it or anything, but it's just not something that I feel the need to buy anything from. So, like, if that's the direction they're going, cool. Uh, it just means fewer things for me to spend money on, which is great, honestly. Yes, Jim Mason abs. I take back what I said and I substitute this instead. The Seven Samurai style bounty hunters from that one episode of Clone Wars. 100%, like 1000%. This would be a good one. Also, uh, yeah, that would be really good. I would like that one a lot. So yeah, that's the other thing. Chaz is like, there's no way. Like even when he was announcing this stuff, I was like, there's no way. There, like, it's one thing to reprint a mold, but to go back and reprint a box, there's just that stuff doesn't even work anymore. Yeah, so Will Bond's right. So the old page is a 404. It's definitely going to be a new listing when it comes in. So it's definitely going to be in a new box for sure. What's my favorite Leia figure? That's tough because there's a couple good ones. I mean, I like the Hoth Leia a whole lot, but I think the comic Leia, the one right here, the comic Leia, I think it's fun. Doesn't It's not beholden to any movie. It's like her own thing, but it's also kind of the Hoth Leia base. So it's got the Hoth Leia in there, which is my favorite. But then, so I really like the comic book one that's right here. I'm glad that you enjoyed the shelf tour, man. The Force is with Jesse. How's it going? Welcome to the party. Sorry it took me uh 6 minutes to get to your comment. That's how far back I am. I'm trying to get through these, but I also don't want to get through them too much because once I catch up, I'm out of things to talk about unless you guys talk more. I will. You guys ask me anything, I will answer it. It might not be the right answer, but I'll answer it. Greetings from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. Oh, that's fun. Does anyone nowadays have the original boxes for Star Wars. The one guy said he didn't have the original box. um, I mean, I have all my boxes from the Black Series. I don't. There's very few boxes I've thrown away. I think Tie Fighter was the first one that I threw away just because it was so big. But I mean, yeah, the new D Squad in the comics is insane. It's R2, BT, Triple Zero, Forlom, IG88, and Chopper. What? What comic is this? That's nuts. That's like that's just a straight up Death Squad. I mean, just R2, BT, Triple Zero, and Chopper. Like those people have a kill count higher than almost anyone else in all of Star Wars separately combined, and then you put two bounty hunting droids on top of that. That's just a bonkers crew. What the a Padme wardrobe multi pack? I mean, why not? The elevator shaft scene. I'd rather have. I'll tell you. I'd rather have the Chancellor's office scene from Revenge of the Sith, where you have like Sassy Tin and Mace Windu and Kit Fisto, and then the Senate version. Who else was in there? There were four Jedi, and then there was Emperor Palpatine. So it was Mace. I think Sassy Tin is that how you pronounce his name. I know Kit Fisto was there, and I cannot for the life of me. Eithkoff. I think it was Eithkoff. Might have been Eithkoff. Multi-pack of just slave Leia to twist the knife for the new generation. That's not a bad idea, actually. Just a bunch of the same the same Leia. Wish Hasbro would hurry up and do a great gaming grades Jason Malcolm. Sure. Honestly, honestly, yes. Like 1,000 times yes. I would love a Jace Malcolm to go with my Bastilla Shan and my Darth Malgus. Need one. Need one. Absolutely. I would love a Carson Teva Pelimoto. You know what? It's so funny when Mando first aired and we first saw Pelimoto. Like I love who is that? Amy is it Amy Sedaris? Is that her name? Anyway. I like her and stuff. Like she was in BoJack Horseman. She's been in a lot of stuff. I like her, but I did not like Pelimoto at all. I did not like her even a little bit. I didn't like that she was an homage to Ellen Ripley because I thought her hair looked ridiculous. But now, so weird how I've come around on her. Like I kind of like her now. Definitely Super Battle Droid with Nightwatch Mandalorian. Absolutely a Super Battle Droid with Night. Just another reason to buy another Super Battle Droid and Mandalorian. I would definitely buy that. You know what? Here's the thing. This is a joke. I know this is a joke, but if they made it, I would buy it. Um, I would, and the only way that they would do it would be like some very specific limited run thing. But if they gave us a Captain Bombardier and a Duchess, I'd get them. I would just for the novelty alone, like the novelty alone. Yes, Landspeeder Luke. Absolutely. So back in the day, back during the Power of the Force 2 days, they would release cinema scenes where it's like a scene from Star Wars, and they'd have sometimes exclusive action figures where the only way to get them would be to buy that cinema scene. Like the first one of the first ones I got was the only way to get the Uncle Owen figure was to buy the cinema scene with the Luke and the C-3PO and the Uncle Owen. So they had a Luke, a Han in Stormtrooper disguise, and a Chewie with like manacles. And at the time, that was the only they'd made Luke by himself before, but they'd only made a Han Solo in Stormtrooper disguise before as one of the first things they ever made, and it was like a Kellogg or a Post cereal mail away, and it didn't come with a blaster or anything. So until that 3-pack, the only way to have a Han Solo and Stormtrooper disguise to go with Luke was in that mail away. That if you missed it, like that was it. Like eBay was kind of around back then, but it was this weird nebulous thing that like no, it wasn't a normal thing to buy something on the internet back then. You you went to a store and bought it. That was how you bought things back then. So or mailed away for them. Uh, I see a Star Killer 3 pack repack with current. I mean, yeah, sure. Didn't Nerd Zoic make his announcements during PFP? I think technically he did, but it's all so confusing now, honestly. Borg Gullet is your TBS number one want. I mean, I wouldn't say no to it. I would love more creatures. Any creature. Borg Gullet, Nexu, the Reek, the Accolade Beast or whatever. Give me an Opie, Eopie or whatever. Um, we got a Dewback. Like I love my Dewback from the OT. He's right here. He's chilling on this right here. God forbid there's a fire. What's one toy you're grabbing? I made a video about this um back in the day, so it's irrelevant anymore. I live in Southern California. Fires are a real thing. In fact, one of my earliest not earliest memories, because this happened in middle school. No, it happened in high school. But it was a one of my first big formative memories. I was a freshman in high school and we were having like a fire. And it came, I'm living in Southern California, it came over the hill across the street from my house and like right to the edge of my street. We got evacuated. And my mom's like, grab some clothes. We gotta go. We're getting evacuated. So I was like, what do I do? So I got my suitcase. I put a t-shirt and some jeans in there, and then every Star Wars toy, because I had a pretty extensive, not Black Series, but Power of the Force 2. That was, what was that, 96? It was like 96, 97. So I had like a whole collection of Power of the Force figures up till then. I had like the Millennium Falcon, the X-Wing, all that stuff. I stuffed as many of them as I could into that suitcase. I didn't have anything else. But if my house was burning down, I was saving my Star Wars toys. But um, man, I honestly don't. I don't know. Uh, Part of it is like it's just stuff. I can just rebuy it again. But if I had to grab one thing, how do I choose? How do I choose? I choose. I choose this blue dragon guy right here. That's what I would grab. Arakagor. I love him. He's a big blue dragon. I don't know. Like it's hard. It's really hard. Like, how do you choose just one Star Wars? I have too many. I have too many to choose just one of. Like how do I make that decision? So yeah, I don't know. The only thing I'm thinking of is like, okay, like what do I have to pass the time? Well, insurance pays me out, so I can rebuy everything. And we have renters insurance, so hopefully I would get stuff back. Part of the Dark Droids crossover in the recent Marvel Star Wars comics between Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi. That sounds awesome. When the Marvel Star Wars comics started up in like 2015, I bought everyone all the way up until about 2017 for about two and a half years. And I have them all in my closet that I bought, and I don't know, like they just got to be too much. So I bowed out. Did you pre-order the new GameStop Phantom Menace? Oh, I did pre-order that specifically. Like I've got the Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon right there. I bought robes for them from Josh's Custom Capes. I got little Annie and Jar Jar and Padme. Padme's in there somewhere. Oh, she's right there. Um, but I really want that. I really want that Darth Darth Maul. And if the single pack one doesn't have a robe, I want the one with the robe. Um, so yeah, I'm definitely getting that for sure. I was right. It was Ethkoff. Thank you. I just saw that now. So if you said that before I said it, just know that I figured it out before you said it because I said it. Obi-Wan Kenobi, how's it going? Oh, it's Aegon Kolar. It's the same alien as Stacey 10, but it wasn't Stacey 10. You're right. No, it was Aegon Kolar. You're right. We had the audience with Hasbro Brass, and they asked what the three Grail type figures you'd want released. Oh man, the Rancor, number one, Rancor. Number two, Pong Krell, not even a question. Number three, Lobot. Just off the top of my head. Hasbro were to focus on one particular Star Wars movie or show to make figures for an entire year, what would you pick? Woo! Probably, man. ugh, I would either say A New Hope or The Phantom Menace. And here's why. Here's why I say that. A New Hope is your first Star Wars movie. I still feel like there's a lot of stuff that you can make from there. Imperials, aliens, any of that stuff. And, there's just there's just a lot of things that we can get from A New Hope. There's a lot to still mine from that well, if that's how that phrase works. But Phantom Menace is in the same boat, but I think times 1,000. Times 1,000. There's so many. I mean, say what you will about the movie. It's not my favorite Star Wars movie, but there were so many just cool looking aliens just in the first half of the movie. When you get to like Mos Espa and stuff, there's just a ton of really cool looking dudes and aliens. The pod racers alone, I can have a whole wave of just that's a pack. That's a pack right there. That's a multi pack. Give us a multi pack of all the pod racing drivers, all those crazy ass, weird looking cartoonish pod racing drivers. That's what I want. Fashion Force Tartakovsky, Visage Ventress, Purple Dress Amidala, Bespin Gown Leia. That's not a bad multi pack. That's a good one. Ula, Gamorrean Guard, and Luke Pack. I mean that's classic for sure. Cinema Scenes, wasn't that how Pilot Force 2 released Jabba's Dancers? It was. Although I think technically that was Power of the Jedi then, but it was all in the same kind of thing. Um, but Jabba's Dancers, they also did. I feel like I'm blanking. There's a couple different ones they did in cinema scenes like that. The Force Ghost 3 pack they released that way around the same time. So yeah, cinema scenes was definitely that like that. Uh, oh, Ronin is a really good figure. Oh, I think on Visions would be pretty cool, honestly. The Sith chick with the lightsaber umbrella, like that would be awesome for sure. Luke that Chewie needs binder. Yeah, yeah, binders absolutely. Geonosis creature pack would be awesome for sure. I know you're probably responding to things that I said. But yeah, I agree, Matt. Visions pack would be awesome. Uh, if there's a fire, headless horseman. Okay, now we're talking about the fire thing. Okay, I'm catching up. Sorry, I'm going through these faster. Do we have Obi-Wan? But all I want is the mall. Yeah, I mean, sure. The mall is the big one for me too. It's a brand new mall, and that's what I've wanted since the line started. Because the mall we got even in 2013, I didn't love the mall. I was the first figure I bought. I remember going to Target, buying that mall, coming home, opening up, and going, "So this is like Star Wars, Marvel Legends. It's not great." And then I even took a picture. Like if you go back far enough on my Instagram back in 2013, you can see it's mall standing next to a picture of a beer I was drinking at the time, and I said like, "Yeah, it's not great." Yes, Ponkrell. Awesome. Am I a fan of John Wick? If so, would you pick Mafex Wick 4 or 3 Black Suit? I'll tell you what, I did not super like John Wick 3. It wasn't bad, but John Wick's one of those franchises that I think should have stopped at one. Just like Pirates of the Caribbean. Like like the first movie is perfect. Doesn't need anything added to it. The mythos is great. The world is great. It is perfect as it is. And then everyone's like, we love this. We want more. So they make more, and it's never quite as good. Although I think the second John Wick was really close to being as good as the first one. But I did not love the third one. I feel like it started to get a lot more convoluted. I actually like the fourth one a whole lot, but I do think that the fourth one should be the last one. That's just my thoughts on John Wick. I know they're doing a five, and they're doing like a spin off with the ballerina. I did not watch the prequel set in the Continental. But I would say if you have to choose between four or three, I'm gonna say four just because I like that look better. I like the movie better. I will say. I honestly don't know physically what's the difference between the two looks wise. If they're both in the black suit, they both. I mean, it's just Keanu Reeves in a suit. Does one come with a dog, or they both come in dogs? Whichever one comes with a dog, I'll say that. Favorite Black Series figure of all time. If I can only pick one, that's tough. That's tough, but here's if I could only pick one Black Series figure. This is weird. I think I would I think I would choose Jaina Solo, which is a figure I was so against even getting made. But I feel like she has everything I want in a Star Wars figure. She is in an X-wing flight suit, which I love. I love a pilot. I love that aesthetic. She has a lightsaber. She has a helmet. She has a blaster. She has a good. She's like the one figure I really want them to do a new face on because it's still the old face. But that being said, it still looks good. Um, so I think I would choose Jaina, and she's also very posable. I think I think it's Jaina Solo. I really do. I really do. Revenge of the Sith for 1 year. Come on, we don't have any. I mean, that's honestly also up there. I think almost any prequels movie you could choose because there are technically Revenge of the Sith figures. Like Obi-Wan and Anakin came out in 2013. It's just there aren't any in the Galaxy line, but they've made them before. But there are a lot that they could make for sure. Definitely a good topic for the next VIP show for sure. 2027 is the 50th anniversary of A New Hope. I feel like we're definitely going to be getting new figures around there, assuming the line's still going. Let's see. Some Legends figures you would like to see get made comment. I mean, I, we got Jason. I mean, we have Jaina. Why not a Jason? I don't love the old EU, but I'll take it. A Corin Horn, Dash Rendar, Cal, not Cal. Why am I blanking on his name from Dark Forces? Uh, we just said it early. What's his freaking name? That guy. You know that guy. I would love a different look for Starkiller. I keep wanting to say Cal Kestis. It's not Cal Kestis. It's not cool. Oh, why is my brain just like, nah, I don't, I don't want to. My brain just does not want to. Cal Katarn. God freaking damn it. My brain's just like, nah, I don't want to remember names right now. You just stop. Kyle Katarn. Like, there's so many. Here's the thing about Star Wars for me. I don't love all of it, but it's, on some level, I like all of it. And if it's in a movie, like I kind of want a figure of it on some level. There aren't really any figures, even figures from like the Ewoks movies or like the holiday special. If they gave us in lieu of like holiday figures this year, if they did a line of holiday special figures, it's objectively bad. It's hard to watch. I'd still buy figures from it because I'm stupid and I love Star Wars. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. I will buy it if it's from Star Wars. Dirge is a good idea, is a good option for sure. Absolutely. She's sneezing? Oh, poor girl. Let's see. For reasons you have on Jane, I feel like my favorite figure in the moment is the new ring. So that's up there. Honestly, that's up there. The Ring World Mando is. There are a couple of just perfect figures in the line, or close to it. Like if you want to nitpick some stuff, you can easily nitpick stuff. Um, but if we're just going by like looks and fun, Ring World Mando is definitely up there. I definitely could probably and probably should do like a favorite figure of all time. The last one I did was so long ago, and there had been so many figures added to the line. I'm pretty sure it's completely different. Um, yeah, I think I would. I'm trying to think of who else would be on it. Like it's crazy that Jane. And again, I can't stress enough how much I didn't want Jaina. She won. The only reason they made Jaina Solo is because she won a fan choice poll. That was it. That's also why they made Darth Revan back in the day. Was he won a fan choice poll? Darth Revan's cool. Like I like the Old Republic game and stuff. Like I was not against Darth Revan, but like I used to love the EU, the expanded universe stories and stuff. I was obsessed with it. I read them because in the mid '90s, that's all we had. The, I didn't really. No one really thought we'd get the prequels. I know they always said, "Yeah, we're going to make the prequels," but like the internet wasn't a thing back then, so you never really knew how close they were to these things happening. It was all just kind of schoolyard rumor, which you always have to take with a grain of salt. So, reading these stories were the only Star Wars we were getting at the time. Like we had the movies, we had the first three movies, and we had the EU stories. But going back, like a lot of them aren't good. I'm not saying all of them aren't good, but a lot of them aren't good. But Jaina Solo, I don't love her character as a character, but I like the idea of her. And I'll admit I was a little disappointed that when when they got rid of all that and sort of rebooted what happened after Return of the Jedi, Han Solo and Leia suddenly didn't have Jason and Jaina. They had Ben Solo, they had Kylo Ren, whatever. And I don't hate the sequels by any means. In fact, I really like some of them and some of the aspects of them. But as a longtime Star Wars fan, that was a little tougher to get over. And again, even as someone who decided that the expanded universe wasn't something I really wanted to invest in and wasn't really that great overall, like it still felt weird to just be like, nah, none of that happened. Just done. All of it's gone. But I mean, it's one of those things that like if you can read Marvel, if you can read Marvel and have two different versions of the same character in your head where like, yeah, this one in this version did this and this one in this version did that. Like you can do that with Star Wars. Like there's a universe in Star Wars where Han and Leia had three kids and there's the Yuzin Vong and all of that stuff. And then there's another version of Star Wars where Han and Leia only had the one kid and all that stuff. It's just it, you can pick and choose what you want. So like they both are valid in their own way. Like they're both things that exist. Um, just saying but it was weird. Again, coming from someone who likes the sequels and stuff, it was weird. But at the same time, I did not want them to make Jaina solo. I did not want her to win. I think mostly because there were so many other figures on that poll that I wanted to win more than Jaina, and then Jaina won. But that being said, she's one of my favorite figures in the line, if not my favorite figure in the line, for sure. They had the last fan choice poll they did was in 2019, I think, for which figure that they did two around the same time. They did what figure would you want to see archived as an official poll, and Commander Cody won that. And then they did what figure from Empire Strikes Back would you want to see made, and Dagobah Luke won that. Yeah, Rob, we're the same, buddy. We're the same. Oh, commando droids for sure. Would love commando droids. I'll tell you what. I want that commando droid from the Outlaws game coming out. Like you put a duster or trench coat on a commando droid. That guy's rad. I'll tell you this. I also want Mr. Bones. That's a battle droid from like more sequel related era books, the aftermath books or whatever. Mr. Bones is a battle droid I 100% want. Let's see. So I bought the comic Leia, gave her a lightsaber in multiverse. Yeah, multiverse Jedi, absolutely. One of my favorite Black Series figures is Count Dooku. Is fantastic. He is one of the best likenesses. The only thing about that figure I really wish they'd done, lightning hand. I think giving it just one. They don't. He doesn't need two. Just one lightning hand. It was weird they didn't. Other than your views, how often do you change poses for your figures? I don't. I'll be honest. I really don't. Um, I'll take them down when there's a reason to. In fact, I keep bumping my desk. In my photo box right here, I have the clone trooper holding the battle droid over his head still. They have been a champ standing posed like that in my light box for what? I did that on Wednesday night. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, like 3 days. 3 days. The the clone trooper has been holding the battle droid up over his head. Uh, what movie was that? Dirty Dancing? Is that Dirty Dancing? I don't remember what movie that was. I think it was Dirty Dancing, but yeah, like that style. All right, Annika, so I'll probably still be here. I don't know how much longer I'll go. I'll be going for like an hour and a half, but there's still people watching, so there's that. You want those? Yeah, Mr. Bones is a great character, absolutely. Mrs. Dash Rendar, absolutely. Also, what's up, Stumbler? How's it going, man? I didn't see you come in. Let's see. Movie for a year. I'm a sequel trilogy fan, and TROS is hugely underrepresented. I also agree with that. And one of the potential multi packs I thought of was there's eight there's eight more Knights of Red. We need we need eight more Knights of Red, but for sure, the sequel trilogy is also as underrepresented as a lot of the prequel trilogy. In fact, there hasn't been anything from TFA in Last Jedi at all box wise, and we've only had one figure from the Rise of Skywalker in the Galaxy line. So for sure. I'll be honest, I haven't read the full trilogy. I think I only read the first one when it came out. We'll see. I'll have to eat. Maybe I'll order a pizza. You guys can watch me shotgun a pizza while we talk nerd stuff here. We'll see how long we go. Do you collect any import figures? No, not purposely. I can't say I don't have any import figures, but when you collect so many different kinds of figures, like just behind me, I've got Star Wars, I've got Transformers, I've got I've got Ninja Turtles, I've got Mythic Legions, I've got Cosmic Legions, I've got more Transformers over here. Up here, I've got Gargoyle. I've got a ton of stuff. And if you want to see more, I've done a full walkthrough on my toy room just a couple weeks, like a week or two ago on my channel. I just don't have the space and budget to get crazy with imports. I appreciate them. I have a couple. Like I bought the Boba Fett from Book of Boba Fett when it came out for some reason. I really don't know why I bought that. I have some Hot Toys. I've got a couple of SH Figuarts. I don't have any Mafex. I don't have any Metacom. I don't have any Revoltech Star Wars. I've got a couple different stuff from them, but it's just for the amount of money, and that's for me what it is. Like I definitely think for the most part, import figures are better than what we get here. But for me, it's that cost effectiveness. So for instance, the Glavis Ring World Mando that just came out a couple months ago, and then the new is it the Mafex Mando that just came out, like side by side, as good as the Glavis Ring World is, the Mafex one is a little bit better. But that being said, the Glavis Ringworld one is still so good, but also only costs $25 versus the $80 to $100 that costs. Like there's so many different figures I can buy for the cost of that one, and is it that much better where I'm willing to sacrifice being able to buy all these for that one? Um, and it's a choice I had to make. And for me, I couldn't do both, and I don't want to mix and match. So I chose quantity over quality, essentially. And I think I like the aesthetic of the Black Series. I like you're more likely to get these random ass characters from Black Series that we've been talking about all night. Random multi packs we'd like to see. They're never gonna do a figure arts Pong Krell, or random Cantina alien or whatever. They're never gonna do a Revoltech of the Senator Palpatine or whatever. Like they're just not gonna do those. They're gonna do the main character. You're gonna get Darth Vader's. You're gonna get Luke Skywalker's, Princess Leia's. But they're never gonna do like they're gonna get troopers, but you're never gonna get those random ass characters, and that's what I want. Like we're never gonna get a SH Figuarts Wicket, and I want a Wicket, so I go Black Series. Um, but that being said, like it is, I disagree. I disagree. I disagree. I think sequel trilogy. I think it's been time. I think I think sequel trilogy figures will sell as long as they're not overproduced. I think if they do fan channel, I think there's enough demand where they could absolutely sell. I don't think it's not universally panned. There are dissenters, there are people that don't like it, but I don't think enough to where they just wouldn't sell at all. Also, what's up, Metal Jedi? How's it going? I don't know where Papa G is. We haven't actually talked in a little while. I don't know if I said something to make him mad, but at the same time, I haven't talked to him either. So it's one of those things where like he doesn't reach out, I don't reach out. Like I still love the dude. He's my Papa Gord. I named him. Definitely would love a Last Jedi Crate Luke, 100%, or the End Luke, the the Exile Luke and the Crate Luke. I love that. Space is the big issue. There are so many figures I have in my garage in bins, and that's actually affecting what I buy in the future as well. Ionicus, take it easy. That affects what I buy in the future as well. So like there are a couple of figures where they get announced, and I'm like, a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have bought this no problem. But now it's like, okay, am I gonna am I gonna put this on my shelf? If I put it on my shelf, where does it go on my shelf? If there's no room for it, what am I gonna take off my shelf so I could put this onto it? Am I willing to lose something on my shelf to put this on instead? And if the answer is no, then I don't buy it because I don't like the idea of buying something just to put straight in a bin after a couple weeks, of taking pictures and messing around with it. If I'm not willing to display it right now as is, or if I don't have room for it, then I just don't buy it. Did I see that Takara is doing Lion Convoy with a bet? I did not actually. I didn't see that because the the Leo Convoy we got has a terrible head, awful head. Uh, let's see. Yeah, there's a couple times I haven't said anything because I always feel weird because I know as soon as I pop in and say something, I feel like I'm a distraction. But like I'll when he does a random stream, I'll pop it on, just and I'll give it a like just to give him some numbers. I was one of those Canto Bite dissenters, but after I don't know, I think like a couple weeks, not a couple weeks ago, but like maybe a year ago, I was watching it. And I was like, you know what? This really isn't that different from like them walking into the cantina. Like it's just a fun way to show a different part of the world with different aliens and stuff, and it's fine. Like I don't think any Star Wars movie is perfect. I think if you really want to, you can, if you're being honest, you can nitpick any Star Wars movie to death. And there's no such thing as a perfect Star Wars movie. There's issues with time, there's issues with acting, there's issues with plot holes, there's issues with weird decisions. There's those things permeate everything because they're movies made by people, and people aren't perfect. And people like to think that George Lucas had this. I used to think this. George Lucas had this overall plan since day one, and he stuck to it and told the exact same story that we got today was what he had written down back in like 1976. And that's just not true. That's not even true for the original trilogy. Like Princess Leia was definitely not Luke's sister, even in Empire Strikes Back. When Yoda's like, no, there is another. They were not talking about Leia originally at that point. Like they were talking about uh, someone that they hadn't introduced yet. And then when you get to Return of the Jedi, George was like, well, what if it's Leia? And then they did that. So like Star Wars is full of retcons. Retcons have been a part of Star Wars since the beginning. And if you want to nitpick literally any Star Wars movie, you can do it to death. Um, so I feel like at some point you just have to make a decision. Is this something you want to like or not? And if it's not something you want to like, that's fine. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like the sequel trilogy. You don't have to like the prequel trilogy. You don't even have to like the original trilogy. You can only like The Mandalorian. You can only like the Clone Wars cartoon or Rebels. It's fine. Star Wars is a buffet. You take what you like, but the thing is, if you take what you like, but then look at everything else that people are doing, and go, I hate that. I don't like that. It's fine, but like let them like it. Like if I went into a restaurant and I saw someone eating something I didn't like, I would be like, oh man, how can you eat that? That's awful. That's terrible. Why are you putting that in your mouth? Ooh, like no one does that. Even though there's tons of time I see people eating things that I don't like avocado. I can't eat cilantro because it tastes awful. But like I don't tell people when I see them eating it. I just let them enjoy their food. And I think that's important that a lot of people in this day and age have forgotten how to do because it's so easy to share your opinion. And again, if we're having a conversation of what our opinion is, and I'm like, hey, what did you guys think? Or we're just having a conversation like this, it's fine. But if you see like someone on like I don't know like social media go like, man, I really like this figure, and your first instinct is that movie sucks. Like, just keep it to yourself a little bit. Like, unless they ask, did you like this movie? In which case they're asking for it. Just let them enjoy things. It's really hard to want to share stuff that you like when you know it's not popular, because you know those people are going to crawl out of the woodworks to let you know that they don't like something that you like, and that's just it. Just gets so hard to be happy about things when there are so many people that want to be negative about things. If that makes sense. Again, I'm not saying you have to like everything. It's definitely not true. I just think just and I'm guilty of this too. Like it's a natural human reaction to do. I'm not saying I'm perfect, and if you might see me do it, and if you do, call me out on it, because I'm willing to always say when I'm wrong if I'm shown that I'm wrong. I do not have an ego when it comes to that stuff. I assume most things I say are wrong. I'm assuming what I'm saying right now is wrong. You might not agree with me, but it's just how I just feel like we can all like different things, but we still like Star Wars. You can love the Legends Star Wars. You can love the Thrawn trilogy. I don't love the Thrawn. I appreciate the Thrawn trilogy for what it did during the time that it came out. I don't love it, and we can have a conversation about that. But at the same time, I'm not going to try to convince you also not to love it. You know, and I think that's the big thing. Is I think so many people are more convinced with trying to. They're more concerned with trying to convince other people why they should share your opinion versus having an actual honest conversation about what that opinion is. And there's a fine line to that sometimes where, like, we can have a good. So, one of my controversial takes on Star Wars is I don't think you actually have to really train to use the Force. I think there are plenty of instances in canon Star Wars where Jedi or people, not even Jedi, people are using the Force without any training. They don't even know what they're doing, because on some level, using the Force is sort of instinctual. Training might help you get into a better mindset on how to do it faster. Or it's one of those things where when you learn you can do something, it's harder to recreate it, because maybe the first time you did it was on accident. So training helps you recreate what you did, but I don't think it's necessary to do. I think sometimes you could just use the Force and not really have any training on what that looks like. Um, but there are people that also treat the Force like it's like a video game leveling system. Like, oh, they haven't unlocked Force push yet because they haven't trained enough to get enough Jedi experience points to use that. Or she used Force heal, but she hadn't done enough practice. She hadn't grinded enough enemies to unlock that skill. Like, I feel like there's more of a metaphysical kind of approach to it versus I think people try to make it too logical video game type thing, where that's not it at all. It's not like Dungeons and Dragons where like you learn things, you learn spells, and you have to rest and all that. I think it's yeah. I just think I think it's a little bit more like that. There are many alien races born that are force sensitive without training. Jedi just trained to learn all the arts. Yeah, I definitely think that's part of it for sure. Um, like for instance, in A New Hope, Luke Skywalker was good at piloting, like Anakin Skywalker. Was that a natural, innate kind of force sensitivity that they were using without really realizing it, or is that just a skill they had? But Luke Skywalker could make that shot on the Death Star, and the fake Wedge next to him, who wasn't Wedge, but we all thought was Wedge, is like, hey, you can't make that shot. That's impossible, even for a computer. And Luke's like, nah, I do it all the time. Like, he was just playing it off like it's skill, but like obviously that's because he was kind of force sensitive. Same thing with Anakin in pod racing. Like, he was a pod racer, and he was the only human that could do it, from what Watto said. And like obviously he could do that at the age he was at because he had those heightened senses from being force sensitive because the force was strong with him. But it wasn't something he was doing. It was just like an innate thing. There's an episode in the first episode of Rebels. Ezra makes a ridiculous jump that he shouldn't have been able to make. He didn't do it. Like he didn't have any Jedi training to do it. It's just something that he did. He jumped because he needed to jump, and the Force just was like, yeah, sure, go ahead, jump. It was the whole living Force thing that Qui-Gon talks about. So I think there's definitely something about that. I don't think you have to be a Jedi to use the Force, and you don't have to be trained to use the Force. Anyways, that's a weird tangent I got on. Sorry, I guess it was my controversial take on Star Wars. I know a lot of people just it's one of those things that like people they just have this idea in their head and that's how they say it. That's fine, but we can have those discussions, we can have those debates, but we can have them like level headed. Like when a parent has a skill and it's passed down genetically. I mean that definitely happens. There's definitely like football lineages, but is it a genetic combination thing, or is it just like, hey, this my dad was really into football, so I've spent my whole life really into football. Like for instance, Steve Irwin's son, Robert Irwin, I follow him on like TikTok and stuff, and he's always just really good with animals. Is he really good with animals because he has some sort of innate animal connectedness, or is it just because of his dad, he grew up around animals and just learned on how to interact with them properly and stuff like, or is it a weird combination of the two? Like just it was interesting. They should do a test archive with Rise of Skywalker Rey and her yellow lightsaber. I would 100% buy those. I definitely would love a new Rey with a yellow lightsaber for sure, for sure. And I would welcome that the idea for an ultimate Kylo Ren because I decided I had like 8 Kylo Rens and on my shelf. I'm like, I don't need 8 Kylo Rens. I only need like 2 at most. So I pared it down to just 2 Kylo Rens because I do like Kylo Ren. I think he's a cool character. I like Adam Driver. Love that deep voice. Here's my question, and this is this. I was talking about this with Chris Pirillo on his Twitch channel the other night. Would you guys subscribe to like a figure subscription where you pay a monthly fee and once a month, or like a yearly fee, I don't know, like maybe like $300 or something, and then once a month, Hasbro mails you an exclusive figure that you can only get from the subscription. You don't can't choose what it is. Like you get this month's figure is this. And that's how they did like random obscure like hard to get characters that like wouldn't do well on store shelves. Like normal people don't know who like Grindan is, or I mean, I guess maybe they would know who Long Snoot is, but there are random characters that like I don't know who this is, but like I would love this. I think it would be an interesting idea. Like, sure, there would be characters like this month, I don't really care about this character, but I got it. But on some level, I feel like especially if it's exclusive to the subscription, I think it would be a neat idea because even if you don't care for the character, you could always like sell it or something like that. Yeah, kind of like how P Bandai does SH fig. Yeah, but I think Matty Collector used to do this. Mattel would do this. Matty Collector with classics He-Man figures back in the day, where you subscribe to it and like you get like a monthly or bi-monthly figure. That was kind of fun because everyone kind of got it around the same time. You got to talk about it or whatever. And the only way to get that figure was to be part of that subscription. I just think it'd be kind of fun. Hey, it's Zach. How's it going, buddy? Yeah, it would be Star Wars. Everything would be Star Wars. But like, one month it might be a sequel character, the next month it might be a prequel character. Like you don't really have a choice over. Maybe they'll do like a questionnaire or something. I think that's they'll usually do that stuff. Yeah, yeah, it would be like it would be one of those things where it would probably average out to like the cost of a figure, 25 to 30 bucks. Being as that would obviously be a much lower quantity of product, it might be closer to like $30 just because of that. But I think it'd be fun. I think it would generate a lot of buzz around figures. Of course, you also have those people that are pissed because they wouldn't subscribe to it, and there'd be some figure in there, and like I can't believe they locked this figure behind a subscription. Hasbro, all that stuff. Like there's always going to be people like that. And I think obviously people like Rob, or you're like you don't care about having everything. That's fine. I think that's good. It was just an idea that actually Chris had. And I was like, wow, that actually I think I would. I mean, I would do it. I wouldn't. Yes, exactly, Stumbler, like they did with the GI Joe Collectors Club, and I know DCUC did that as well. So yeah, I think it would be fun. It would be kind of fun if they did it by theme, but I don't know. Like I'm not. It's there's a lot of caveats to it. There's a lot of ideas that could float around, but I think the idea is solid. Yeah, right. I don't think Mr. Stevie is watching me. I feel so bad for Mr. Stevie and the team with the Cantina TVC HasLab leak. I don't know if they leaked it on purpose or if it was legit like mess up leak. But like, I feel bad. I feel bad for the team because it's like you work so hard on that and then it gets leaked and I don't know if maybe they did it on purpose to gauge interest, which I kind of get. I kind of get that. Yeah, I mean it would be good for YouTube. It'd be an easy video for the month because there would be people they don't people like Rob or like they don't want to get it, but maybe they want to see what it is. They're interested in seeing what it is. They want to see someone else review it. Like I definitely think that that'd be fun. And then yeah, but you could sell the ones you don't want. Like maybe it's something that you don't care about, but then like you could easily sell. So for instance, just what a couple weeks ago, um, the Four Horsemen group was doing a blind box of Mythic Legions figures. It was $70, and you got two figures in there. And the figures are random, but they would choose from like a list of figures, one from this list and one from this list, like one from older stuff and one from newer stuff. Yeah, I didn't get a box because I just felt like for me it wasn't worth it because I was looking at the figures available, and there were some figures from the old stuff I love, but since it wasn't guaranteed, I felt like with my luck I'd be more likely to get something I already had. And then I had all the figures from the new, or like most of the figures from the new list. So the odds that I would get something I already had from both was really high. And I just decided I didn't need to do it. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. But like for instance, Dan Larson did, and his looks. I don't know. I think he's gonna sell his or something because he got some he didn't really care about. Um, And I could do that. Like I could have gotten it and sold it, but then I feel like, what if I just didn't buy it in the first place? That's kind of going back to me not buying things that I don't immediately want to put on my shelf. Am I getting No, I'm not getting the Cantina. I don't. Not only do I not collect vintage collection, I just don't know where I'd put it. I mean, the only place I could possibly put it is here, and I have my Jabba's palace diorama there. So there's no way. There's no way I'm gonna get it. I think it could be cool for sure. And I hope it's cool. I hope it's good. I just feel bad that it got leaked. I think it's supposed to have like 8 characters in it, like lights and sounds. I think if people really do back it, it's if they do back it. Just imagine. Um, if if it's popular, it's probably going to be more so the characters that come with it. I think, weirdly enough, figures make or break a HasLab. It's weird, but it's true. Not 100% of the time. Because I think the Razor Crest sold just on the basis of having a Razor Crest mostly by itself. But it did have an exclusive Mando in there that wasn't available, for a while outside of that. He had the cloth cape and all that stuff. So yeah. My Hu Yang fell over once. Now he's on the top row up there. He's standing fine. So I don't know. But I did have mine randomly fall over. Actually, randomly earlier today, one of my clones fell off the shelf. Just took a shelf dive. No, just one of them. It was the new the phase one clone, the phase one 501st clone from the Ahsoka 2 pack. Just took a shelf dive. No reason. No one, like nothing, like absolutely nothing, nowhere. And then just so weird. Weird when that happens. Uh, well, I've been going for like 2 hours. My original, when I was like, I could do a live stream, and I was trying to figure out how to get like a second video camera set up without having to open up OBS. And I was gonna go through my Hot Toys Vader and stuff, and I don't know, it seemed like a lot of work, so I decided to get on and talk. But I didn't think I'd go for 2 hours, and it doesn't feel like it's been 2 hours. So thank you all for hanging out with me this long. It's very nice. So, I'm making a custom Beto with a Greedo bunny. Okay, yeah. Hot latest jacket painted orangish with my, yeah, that honestly, I think that would look good. I don't have it in my display. No, I don't really have many custom stuff in my display. Um, in fact, the only one I can in my Jabba display that's custom is a C3PO that one of my subscribers made for me a long, long time ago that's painted up like the C3PO. He just took the Walgreens C3PO and gave it some like green smudges and stuff to make it look like he did in Jabba's palace when he smacks him in the chest and stuff. What's up? Hey, first of all, hi Ray Kenobi. I'm excited for the new Leia and Luke. Do you think they will be updated? So one of the reasons I did this live stream was because I'm writing a script for figures I would want to see updated from the line. I talk about that in my video, but to answer your question, I hope so, but I'm not putting any faith into it because I thought Paz Vizsla was going to be an updated version and he wasn't. Um Although that was my fault because if you go back and watch the reveals, they specifically say it's just a refresh. Whereas in this one, it sounds like they're doing an update. It sounds like the wording they said. The new Luke and Leia are going to be an updated version. So I really think so. I really hope so. But I'm not getting my hopes up. But I really hope so. If that makes sense. I'm saying I hope so, but I'm not hoping. That's what I just said. I'm a multifaceted individual. I can do both things. What are my thoughts on the last Command 4 pack? Um, I'm getting it. The only thing on there I don't love that the Mara Jade's mostly the same, just has an alternate head. The just blatant reuse of like just the same Jedi Luke in there again. I don't love either, but I love Jorus Sabayoth, or however you pronounce his name, enough, and the Luke Skywalker enough to justify it for me. So yes, I'm 100% getting that. I'm actually very excited to get both of those figures. Yeah, exactly. People wanted Madeline Pryor and Mephisto, but they did not want the Ghost Rider. For sure, absolutely. I will say he's on the list. I couldn't not put him on the list and still be friends with Zach. Um, but I won't say what number he is. How important is it for A New Hope Leia to kneel? I don't think it's important that she kneels, but I think she should be able to bend over and like she's imposed, like she's putting something into R2D2. I don't think she was kneeling when she did. I think she was bending over. Yeah, a soft plastic overlay would be cool. Yeah, it's just I don't know. It's always a little weird, like how much of a traffic cone do you want a figure to be versus that soft goods which allows for movement, but it doesn't look as good. Yeah, I agree. It's totally weird. I think Leia will be all plastic so they can make a holocom version of her. I mean, they can make a holocom version of the soft goods one. They're doing it with Vader. Like he's got translucent robes coming up. So yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to having new versions of that. The line has come a long way since 2016 when both of those figures came out. Luke came out in like the summer of 2016, and Leia came out towards the fall winter of 2016. I think I got her. I think I got her around December. From I ordered a whole case. I think it was the first thing I ever ordered from Dorkside Toys was just a solid case of those figures because I wanted all of them, and it was a case where there were no repacks or doubles of figures, where it was 8 figures and all of them were different. So it was the Leia, it was the Obi-Wan, the old man Obi-Wan, it was Darth Revan, and I got the case specifically because I felt like Darth Revan was going to be the hard one to get. It was the AT-AT driver. Man, who else was in that? I think Sabine was in that wave as well. Man, I'm blanking on who. I know this, and like nobody cares, but I care right now. So I'm looking it up right now because it's gonna drive. It was okay. It was Leia, AT-AT driver, Obi-Wan, Sabine, Darth Revan, Snowtrooper. So it was one, two, three, four. It was 6 figures. Yeah, and I remember doing all of the reviews for that, and I did. I got them in December because then in January I got the Baze Malbus and Chirrut Imwe, and those were the only 2 figures from that wave that were new. The rest were like repacks and stuff. Hey, what's up, Art? How's it going, bud? Yeah, I'm probably going to wind the stream down now, just because it is 6:30. Dinner's a thing for me. I'm getting kind of hungry. Uh, yeah, I don't know. So hold on, let me share screen. Oop, share, and then there we go. So yeah, I was kind of. This is what I was using when I'm writing my script, the action figure 411. So I was just going through like the really old figures, like going one at a time. Like, do I want a new X-wing? Like, do I think we need a new X-wing body Luke? And I kind of decided I don't think we need a new X-wing body. I think that the figure that they made, like, could they make it better? Sure, but do they need to? Like, is it necessary for them to? Does it did it not age well? Is there something wrong with it? I don't think that's the case. The only problem I have is them reusing that for other X-wing pilots, and the solution for that isn't a new X-wing Luke. It's a different a different X-wing pilot with a different body type, like redoing Wedge Antilles or something like that. So they can use that instead of just reusing Luke because Luke's short. He's a short king. Um, we did talk about Kiadi Mundi, Ray. Uh, the pre-orders are sold out on Entertainment Earth and Big Bad Toy Store. I would expect I would expect like Hasbro Pulse and Amazon to get them within the next week or so. Hey Jim, thanks for hanging out. So I agree. I would welcome a change, but it's one of those things like so like for instance the Darth Maul next to him. That is objectively not a good figure for the poses that you want to do for him, his legs being weirdly shaped, not being able to like stand up straight. That Darth Maul absolutely needed a new version. R2 was too short. The Stormtrooper had weird lanky proportions and his legs tended to bow. So those had issues or just things that didn't age well. Whereas, sure, the Luke could be better, but the difference is there anything like wrong with him? Like, is there anything that's just actively bad about him? And I don't think that that's true. Like, obviously, the Leia with the new way they do body parts and stuff, getting rid of those double jointed elbows and knees would go a long way just by itself if they did a new Leia. Like Boba Fett, 100% needs a new the Empire Strikes Back Boba Fett is garbage as a toy. It's great as a statue, kind of as long as you're okay with like one pose. But he could be a lot better. Greedo, I think he's perfect. Like sure, could they get rid of the double joints to make him look visually pleasing a little more? Put some butterfly joints? Absolutely. Like they can make him better. But as he is, I think he's fine. So anyways, that's the kind of the video I'm doing where I was kind of going through and making a list of the figures that I really think that should could be better or they should do. So I'm probably gonna film that tonight or tomorrow, and I'll probably have it up in the next couple days. Um, and then when I get the 3 pack for the Jedi Fallen Order, I'll review that. And then when I get the clone trooper, the Phase 1 clone trooper, which Hasbro Pulse said is shipping out soon, I'll do that. And obviously, when I get Kiadi Monday, I'll do that. So my goal, like I said in my videos so far this year, is I want to review every Black Series figure I get, even if it's like the Phase 1 Clone Trooper isn't going to be any different, really, from any of the other reviews I've done this year. This will be like a third time, fourth time I've reviewed a clone this year, but I'm going to do it. You know, there's always something different to talk about. Uh, but yeah, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Thank you everyone for hanging out with me. It was fun talking to you. Thanks for letting me vent. I agree, Edwin. It was crazy how long the line's been going. Like I was what when I was talking about the wedge figure, I was like, that's a pretty recent figure, right? But that figure came out in 2019. It was 5 years ago. It's a 5-year-old figure. Like that's nuts. The line is only like it's going on 6 years now. And I'm talking about oh it's a recent figure. It's 5 years old. That's crazy. There are toy lines that don't even last 2 years. And I'm talking about a figure that came out 5 years ago, an 11-year-old toy line. So uh, it's interesting. Thank you, Giovanni. Oh, how's it going, dude? It's been a while. I used to run into him. I think I've run into you at a couple conventions, or at least one convention, and then at Disneyland a couple times. So that's cool to see you, bud. Yeah, Ray, thanks for hanging out. Joby One, thanks for hanging out. Henry, thanks for hanging out. Jedi Sith Lord again, thank you so much. That name's always on there on on my Patreon, so thank you very much. Yeah, I really had a lot of fun talking. I'm gonna try to live stream more. I'm not gonna do it super often, but I used to do it once a month, and I'm gonna try to stick with that. 100% funeral motors. We need a Gonk droid. As I would take a Bad Batch Gonky or just a generic A New Hope. I don't care. We definitely need a Gonk droid. Pletho, thanks for hanging out. You're great. Edwin, thanks for chatting so much, and thanks everyone for chatting. It was a great group. Everyone was super cool. Paul, thanks for hanging out. If you guys want, again, if you want to hear more of me, like I'm doing more videos, which is great, but like Black Series Cantina, if you don't listen to it, um, it's on podcasting stuff, or you can watch it if you want to go to Patreon, or you can go to our YouTube channel. But the only like old videos are on there, with the exception of our most recent episode is live because we did a whole May 4th thing that everyone could watch. So, anyways, I'm gonna take off. You guys have a good night. Thanks for hanging out, and I will talk to you later. Bye.